Hey guys, I guess it's that time of the year again. Rye overseeding time. So I did this last year and it turned out okay. Mediocre, maybe a little better than mediocre, I don't know. I had two really heavy rain washouts during my rye overseed. So after I put the seed down, I was watering, and then twice. So they sent me more seed. You have to go back and watch the video, I guess, but it washed out, rain flooded all through here. And that's what I'm gonna blame for my failure, partial failure, whatever you wanna call it, of last year. So this year I'm hoping to redeem myself and make it really, really, really nice. I talked to Real Bob Shady just a little bit ago, and he's telling me, it's no big deal. Rye seed's easy, man. Just throw it down. It just grows no matter what. You know, throw it down heavy and you'll be fine. And that's what he does, and his looked great last year. Last 2 years, his looked great. So I don't know, I think I'm gonna go a little overboard. Also talked to Scott Price. John Ware has a whole rye overseed guide on thelawnforum.com. You all know how I love thelawnforum.com. And that's what I followed last year, and it probably would have worked great, except again, those two really heavy rainfalls didn't help at all. So I'm gonna kind of do that. I'm gonna kind of go all out. I'm gonna use the power rake, and I'm gonna try to expose as much dirt as I can to try to get as much seed to soil contact here. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm just like, I feel like I'm gonna screw it up again. But here goes nothing. Let's do this thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So last year I did the little golf hole. I'm gonna do the same thing. That was a lot of fun. I liked the way that turned out, and I think if I could just make sure it's all full and don't have any washout again this year, then it would look really, really cool, because everything around here is dormant. All the grass is brown, and then I have this nice, like, above view of a golf hole, tee box, fairway here with a little bit of contour to it, and then the green on the other side of that ditch. So that's what I'm gonna do again this year. It was fun to come out here and golf with Little Tool and just some other people last year, and hopefully get out here and play a little more golf on it. Actually, last year was real soggy. It was wet all winter long, so we'll see what the weather ends up being like this winter. So I don't really know exactly what shape I want to go with. I want to go with a little less curve on the edges than I did last year. You know, just look kind of like a golf hole, but have a little bit of an uneven side, I guess, to it, because I thought that looked kind of neat. All right, well, here we go again. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous, because last year I felt like was kind of a fail. So I'm really wanting to redeem myself this year. I think I already said that a couple days ago, but thank you to my friends over at Barenbrug. They sent me this seed. So this year we've got the Turf Star RPR. I think this is more seed than I had last year, so that'll be good to get it down a little bit heavier. So we're gonna be going down about 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet. I don't know if there's much else to say about it. I'm just gonna spread this stuff out. And a couple things that I read said that you're supposed to aim for temperatures to be highs of about in the 70s. We're in the lower 80s right now. I think one of my issues last year was that I got it down a little bit too late. So I'm erring on the earlier side. Scott Price, I'm gonna put a couple pictures up here that he sent me. He did it like a week ago, and he's already got tons of grass, and it's doing really, really well. So I don't think I'm gonna be too hot, because he's actually like an hour south of me. So it's even warmer there. So I think we should be golden. I think I've got my timing just about perfect. Our nighttime lows are right around 50 to 55, somewhere in there for the next week. So this should be great. Fingers crossed. Let's do this. I'm gonna experiment a little bit. GuardZen sent me this aerator here, this hand aerator. I'm gonna do a little section of the tee box. I'm gonna aerate some of this just to see if aerating before seeding makes any difference. A little experiment. Probably not completely scientific, but whatever. I'm just gonna give it a shot, but I'll put an affiliate link for the GuardZen aerator down in the description below, of course. I'm going to link any guides that I find helpful, stuff that I used to look up any information for this, because I know I'm not very good at relaying that information sometimes, so I'll make sure and link those guides in the description. So if you guys are wanting to do this and I haven't told you everything that you need to know, there will be guides in the description, so go check there. Well, I am losing daylight. I'm cranking this baby all the way up and probably hopefully making one more pass. We'll see. Well, I don't know where I left off in that last video, but how about a little update? We are, what am I guess 9 days this evening. So I was putting it down like in the dark, so this evening is 9 days. And here we are. So it looks pretty good from like the side. If you look from the right angle, it looks like it's super thick and everything. But then don't get too deceived, because then as soon as you look from the top, you can see how thin, how few and far between the blades of grass actually are. I don't know, there are some places where it looks pretty thick, but again, if I mowed it, it would look pretty thin, I guess. You'd be able to see down to the brown Bermuda that I scalped down there if I did cut this. But I'm liking the progress after only 9 days. So I'll keep you posted. Get to see what this looks like after just another few days, but you get to see it right now. Okay, here's the scoop. The Barenbrug RPR is looking pretty good. There are some thin spots. I put down 10 pounds per thousand, which is the same as what I put down last year. And we'll call this an impulse buy, an impulse decision. I don't know exactly. I just happened to be noticing that I was like, man, there's some thin spots. Maybe it'll thicken up. And usually it looks a lot better in the spring, because it definitely does thicken up in the spring. Like this spring, so at the beginning of this year, you know what I'm talking about. It looked amazing. It like thickened up like crazy. But I happened to be talking to Matt Martin right about the same time I was looking at this grass, and I was like, man, you know, like it's a little bit thin, what do you think? He said, we used to put down 10 pounds per thousand, we, him, them, they used to put down 10 pounds per thousand on, I think he said football fields where they were looking for it to be, you know, just kind of like green. But if they were doing like a baseball field where they wanted to be able to have like really nice stripes and like really nice turf in the winter, he said they'd go to 20 to 25 pounds per thousand square feet. And I was just like, man, that would be kind of cool. So I did it. I would have been great to do Barenbrug RPR for all 20 pounds. So I have half Barenbrug RPR, and this is Ewing Par is what they call it. That's their perennial ryegrass, and it says for sports turf and overseeding, blah, 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 blah. So it's gonna be two different types of perennial ryegrass, but hopefully they blend well together. But I'm gonna go 20 pounds per thousand square feet. And I was also talking to him, I was like, well, what do you think? Do I need to go and like scalp it again? Do I need to power rake it? Do I need to rake it in? Like what's, you know, and I'm probably overthinking it. He says, yes, you're definitely overthinking it. He said they didn't really rake it in very often, or like hardly ever. He said only if there was something that went wrong would they like rake it in. He said just put it down there, and if you put down 20 pounds per thousand, he goes, you know, it doesn't even matter if the Bermuda grass is up to like the same height. He said you won't even be able to tell there's brown Bermuda grass under there. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. We're experimenting here. I like to do stuff, and this is sort of a whim kind of thing. So we're throwing down 50 more pounds of ryegrass seed at my 5,000 square foot golf hole here.